Hi. Okay, so I'm Namir, and I give talks about yoga and how yoga relates to living and the world with all the changes that are going on. How we can use yoga, the understanding of yoga, to live better with less suffering and to be more useful in the world. Um, and one way, of course, is our practice of yoga. And there are very different explanations of what yoga is, but I take myself from classical yoga and the basic view of how the world is described and the background of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So within that, we say, well, why do we do yoga? What is the point of yoga? So the point of yoga is to allow you to realize something. What is it that yoga is trying to realize? So in order to understand that, we have to kind of step back. We have to understand that the view of yoga is that the world or reality or our life is always consisting of two fundamentally separate entities. And one of those, the first thing, is everything that changes, right? So that's the world out there, the weather, the politics, elections, Brexit, wars, peace, everything like that. But also your body, how your body is doing. You do yoga, your body changes. You change as you grow old, everything's always changing. And of course your mind is changing. It's changing all the time from minute to minute. It's the most changeful thing. So yoga, nature, universe, nature, body, mind are all part of one thing. Matter, thought is all part of one entity, and that's called Prakriti. And its nature is change. And there's a whole explanation of how it's made up of various things. Okay, so that's one, and most people say, yeah, okay, I know that. No, well, we know that life is change. But yoga says there's another thing that is involved also, and that is called that which recognizes change or cognizes change. So how do you know things have changed? Is because there's a part of you which is able to understand or to perceive. And the great unblocking of life that yoga did is to see that the perceiver or the knower is actually independent of change. And that's what makes it possible to recognize change. It's actually separate. So in any judgment we make, there's a part of us which is an independent judge, which is totally unaffected to everything that is happening. And that's why we're able to say, oh, that is moving fast, that is moving slow. No, because we're outside it and we can judge it. Otherwise, it would be complete confusion. We'd all be lost in a kind of storm and we'd have no understanding at all. So that which changes is called Prakriti. That which understands change is called Purusha. So that could be, something called the soul. It's like the soul, and it is beyond the changes of time and space. Now, this is what yoga wants us to realize, that we're in that. And the purpose of yoga is in a little bit to make a little separation or such a quietening down, because yoga is defined by Patanjali as the stilling of thought or the movement of thought or mental agitation. And when everything becomes still, then as it were the separation, the essential difference between these two aspects of who we are becomes clear. And we realize that we are perfect in every way, beyond change, perfectly safe, perfectly free and happy. It's just in the dance, in the intimate dance of the eternal and the time, or of your soul and your body and mind, we kind of lost sight of it. They became so intimately twined up that we got lost sight of it. And so we start to think that we are born and die and that we are subject, that we actually change. In ourselves, we don't. We are eternal, changeless, perfect and free. So this is yoga, and and if you get to this realization, then it's all clear and your life is done, basically. You've achieved that freedom and safety, which has got nothing to do with what is happening. Things will always change. Look at how things are going in Europe, in the Middle East, in the United States with the elections. And now a yogi does not get all agitated by these things. The yogi observes them and sees where other people are suffering and tries to help those people by explaining to them how they can relieve their suffering. But in self, there's no need ever to be scared as a yogi. This is the promise. This is the beauty of yoga. No? Don't worry. Okay? You don't have to be happy. Realize your nature. It is happiness. Okay? What people are struggling for in the world is to be happy. And what they're trying to do is to realize their actual self, the truth. So in the times of all this change, the point of this video is to say, well, you know, the yogi goes out there to reduce the suffering of others, but not necessarily to change the way the world is. It's change the way that people relate to themselves and to the world, their whole world view. And that we can apply it to politics, to business, to any endeavor at all, to how you do your yoga as well. Anyway, I wish you peace, happiness, and truth. Thank you.